Episode 13. Bound Together. Eva blushed and quickly nodded. Yes! Jake, last year we met at your birthday party. I was wearing... She suddenly called Jake, which disgusted the man. Jake felt impatient and said, "Didn't she tell you that I am married?" Eva was dazed and nodded. It was no secret that Jake was married. However, the wedding was very low-key, and the media did not even find out about the identity of his bride. How come he was suddenly bringing this up? Eva did not understand this man. However, it was exactly the mystery about him that was so fatally attractive to women. Feeling encouraged, Eva stared at Jake with no shame. Her look was so full of lust that it was disgusting. Jake was numb to this kind of look. However, he was suddenly reminded of the fact that Serena had looked at him the same way a couple of days before. However, today, he finally understood what was different about Serena. Is she playing hard to get? Throwing a glance at Serena, Jake quickly looked elsewhere. So? I do not believe it is smart to insult my wife in front of me. He looked calm, as if he was telling people about something ordinary. However, his words shocked everybody. Eva was the most shocked among all. She immediately yelled, "How is that possible? She is your wife!" Edward was also astonished, looking at Serena incredulously. The Robinson family was the #1 household in Austin. They had deep government connections. Among the 3 brothers in the family, only Jake chose to do business. However, every person in the family was elite. Edward knew very well how difficult it was to marry into this kind of family. Someone like Serena. The Robinson family accepted her. Not just Eva. Even Edward could not believe that. However, Jake was admitting it himself. What? She is the wife of the president? One of the shop assistants felt so incredulous that she could hardly stand up straight. The woman in such an ordinary outfit just now was the wife of the big boss. So, she's Mrs. Robinson! One of the onlookers exclaimed. I could tell that Mrs. Robinson was extraordinary. A mistress? A jealous woman is the most horrifying. Exactly! That woman was so aggressive that I almost thought it was true! What a bitch! Mrs. Robinson is so pretty that she and the president are the perfect match. That's right. However, who is the man standing next to that woman? Is he one of the Jones family? I think he is. Is that woman his girlfriend? No way! Such poor taste! The discussion was louder and louder. Edward's face became crimson, and he moved farther from Eva. Eva could not get over the shock. She had no idea that Edward resented her at this point. Eva looked at Serena incredulously and said, "It is absolutely impossible! How come a woman like you could marry into the Robinson family? You must have done it in a nasty way. Yes, that must be it. Serena, you are absolutely shameless. What has happened? I heard someone was starting a fight here." Some people in uniform walked over. Serena looked around, curled her lips and said, "Yes, officers. Someone is slandering me maliciously." Slander? In such hot weather, they came all the way here just for such a small matter? However, when the police officers saw Jake, their looks suddenly changed. "Mr. Jake Robinson!" Seeing the police, Eva was dazed and started to panic. "Serena, you know very well whether I was telling the truth. Everything I said was true. You shameless woman! How dare you call the police?" "All right, tell the police then," Serena said calmly. Her eyes were cold, and she looked so fierce that everyone was looking at her. I did not have extra time for this. How dare you call the police? I am related to the Cox family. Jake is my cousin, not your best friend. How could you send your best friend's cousin to the police? Eva looked at Jake as if he was her savior, wishing that he would stop Serena. After all, Lila grew up with him. Everyone said that he and Lila would make the perfect match. They looked great together and grew up together. Both the Cox family and the Robinson family thought that Jake would definitely marry Lila. Even if they had not become a couple, he must take into account the relationship. Right? However, Eva obviously had underestimated how far Jake would go. The tall and glamorous figure ignored her words, looked at his wristwatch again and urged Serena. "It is 1 o'clock." For everything Eva said, there was no response at all. Full of frustration, Eva continued to say, "Jake, even if you do not want to give my cousin face, you need to respect the Cox family. I am a cousin to them." Serena felt pity. This was what would trigger Jake. "You're threatening me?" Jake looked up, his sharp eyes seizing Eva. Eva felt frozen by that look, as if someone had poured a bucket of ice over her. "No!" "Did Mr. Patrick hire you to enjoy the show?" Jake asked the police. His voice was so cold that it made people shiver. The police officers immediately reacted and arrested Eva. "What is your relationship to the suspect?" An officer looked at Edward. "None." With such a brainless girlfriend, Edward had been thoroughly humiliated. Obviously, Eva had offended more than Serena, but also the man behind Serena. Edward could not afford to cross such a man at the risk of his entire family. All he could do was stay away from such an idiot as Eva. However, Eva immediately smirked and cried, "He is my boyfriend! He told me everything I just said!" Staying away from her? No way. They were bound together, and shall go down together. Edward cried, "Eva, do not push it!"